and welcome to Realty Buzz, a show which updates you about the latest happenings in the real estate sector. This is Mansee Dave and let's take a look at the show. To start with, Prime Minister Narendra Modi to launch 3 ambitious schemes to develop cities. Modi will release implementation guidelines for 3 projects: 100 smart cities, the Atal Mission for Rejuvenation and Urban Transformation, Amrit, for 500 cities and housing for all by 2022 in urban areas. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is all set to launch 3 mega flagship schemes aimed at transforming urban India, including the much talked about smart cities proposal, with a whopping ₹4 lakh crore kitty having been lined up for the projects. He will also unveil the logo of the housing mission, which has his personal touch in the finalization of its design. The operational guidelines for each of the 3 projects, which lay the ground rules and framework for implementation, were formulated after extensive, almost year-long consultations with states, union territories and urban local bodies. The Prime Minister has been involved in the formulation of the 3 mega urban initiative involving a central grant of about ₹4 lakh crore. He was giving regular presentations by the Urban Development and Housing and Urban Poverty Alleviation Ministries and would issue instructions for making them more workable, said sources in the UD ministry. While the Smart City and Amrit projects will draw ₹48,000 crore and ₹50,000 crore respectively in central grants over 5 years, Housing for All by 2022 will see the government spend about ₹3 lakh crore in the next 7 years as it aims to construct 2 crore affordable houses in urban areas for slum dwellers and people from economically weaker sections and low-income groups. Under the housing scheme, interest subsidy of 6.5% on housing loans with tenure up to 15 years will be provided to economically weaker sections and low-income groups, giving them a benefit of about 2.3 lakh each. Urban Development Minister N. Venkaiah Naidu said the 3 projects will herald a new urban era. States and local bodies will play a key role in the execution of these schemes, the minister said, adding that there will also be a lot of scope for private participation. Effective management of growing urbanization is a major challenge towards the making of resurgent India. Resource management is a major challenge and our government sees an opportunity in this. The Smart City project seeks to enhance quality of life in 100 selected cities with 24-hour water and power supply, world-class transportation system, better education and recreational facilities, e-governance and environment-friendly atmosphere, among others. The Smart City project will be based on PPP model, Naidu said. Amrit seeks to ensure basic infrastructure for 500 cities with a population of about 1 lakh, ensuring water supply to each household, sewer connections, sanitation and solid waste management, provision for roads and public transportation besides implementation of reforms in urban governance would be focused under the scheme. Naidu said that Amrit cities are tomorrow's smart cities. He also said that the simultaneous launch of 3 missions reflect the government's integrated approach towards urban transformation. While urban population is set to rise by more than 400 million people to touch 814 million by 2050, India faces a mass urbanization challenge even as many of its biggest cities are already bursting at the seams. The government through these schemes is looking to bring about a transformation of urban India with the critical goal of making the country an economic hub. The unveiling of the criteria and guidelines for the 3 schemes by Modi will be followed by the 2-day workshop in which over 1,000 mayors, municipal heads, state ministers and chief secretaries will take part. Representatives of embassies which have shown an interest about their country's participation in these projects will also take part in the workshop, Naidu said. The next news says Square Yards acquires Singapore-based realty advisory Luxe Real Estate. This acquisition will enable Square Yards to have direct access into the prime direct areas of Singapore real estate market and catapult it into top 30 agencies by number of agents. Let's take a look at it in detail. Real estate advisory firm Square Yards has acquired a Singapore-based property advisory firm Luxe Real Estate in an all-cash transaction. Earlier this month, Square Yards has announced acquisition of online discovery portal Realizing.in. Luxe Real Estate, with strong domestic and international track record in luxury real estate sales and existing relationships with Singapore-based developers like City Development Limited, will now be able to leverage on Square Yards project portfolio of global projects from Mongolia, Bulgaria, Australia, Malaysia, UK, USA, etc. This deal completely complements our strategy to have a dominant position in international markets. The International Project Marketing Division in Dubai has tremendous demand from countries like UK and Malaysia, and improved product sourcing capabilities from global markets will only help us do more business in Gulf countries. The entire team of Lux will join Square Yards as agents with its key executive officer, Calvin Cao, as Director, International Projects Marketing in Singapore. Square Yards has already announced its plan to expand global reach to 20 destinations in the next 2 quarters and is also looking for global alliances in other global markets. The next news is a question with an answer. You can call it an eye-opener. Name it at your own convenience. And the question says, do you fall short of cash to own a house? Don't have money to buy a house? How about owning a portion of it then? On an interesting note, let's take a look at it in detail. Fractional ownership, though not a new concept in the commercial and retail segment of real estate, is relatively new on the residential side and is fast becoming popular. Let's take a look at the case in brief. Ashutosh Khadria, who owns a dry cleaning chain in Bengaluru, wanted to invest in the growing real estate market. However, he didn't want to take a loan. Like most, at 31, he didn't have enough savings to afford an apartment either. So he chose the co-ownership route. He has invested Rs 5 lakh in a 3 BHK near Sarjapur Road in Bengaluru in March 2014. Apart from the capital appreciation of 15%, he has also been earning a rental income of 3% from the property. If we talk for the masses, fractional ownership opportunities in the residential market has opened doors for the ordinary salaried individuals to gain from co-ownership in real estate. Majority of the investors in the retail and commercial properties are high net worth individuals as the ticket size is bigger. Also, although the rental yields are more defined in the commercial space, the risk of investing are higher. If your primary objective is capital appreciation, then residential makes more sense. The commercial space is more lucrative if you are looking for rental yields. You need a minimum of Rs 2 to 3 crore to enter the commercial and retail space, says Rajiv Bhairati, Executive Director, Capital Markets, Knight Frank India. You can enter the residential space with a few lakhs. Moreover, leasing can be a challenge in commercial if your property is not in the good location. Whereas in residential, it's not that big a risk as it is easier to sell a residential property. Earlier, the space was unorganized. Individuals, even unrelated, such as a group of friends or colleagues, would invest in property together. Now, startups like Bangalore-based PropertyShare.in are making such transactions more organized. Another company operating in this space is State Up, which offers opportunities in Dubai. Coming on the organized co-ownership, these investment platforms allow you to invest directly in real estate and other investors. Depending on the number of investors interested in property, you either get joint ownership in the apartment or a stake in the company that owns the property. If the number of investors are less than 7, they go for co-ownership. Otherwise, they form a special purpose vehicle where all the investors are shareholders and own shares corresponding to the percentage of ownership they have in the property. You sign a shareholders agreement and an investment agreement that state your investment amount and fraction of ownership you hold. Your liability is limited to the capital invested in the property. Talking about the funds and fees. Since you are investing as a partner in a firm, you cannot take a housing loan to invest in such a property. Although if you want, you take a personal loan. Currently, the minimum investment requirement is Rs 5 lakh. Apart from helping investors with various aspects of property acquisition, finding good investment opportunities, vetting the property legally, processing the deal, the platform manages the property for the investors. To exit a fractional ownership, either you'll have to sell your share in the special purpose vehicle or wait for the sale of the property. Tax rules are the same as buying a property individually. If it is a co-ownership, investors have to show all this in their individual tax return. If you are interested through a special purpose vehicle, the company pays for all investors and you'll get a TDS certificate from the company. Monthly rents get added to your annual income. You can't take a home loan, so the usual tax benefits of loan repayment are not available. Regular 30% deduction for maintenance and municipal taxes on the rental income. If property is sold after 3 years, long-term capital gains will be taxed either 10% flat or 20% after indexation. If you sell before, you'll be taxed as per the IT slab you fall in. So that is all for this episode of Realty Buzz. We will be back with more on this. Till then, goodbye, take care and keep watching Spin TV.